My name is May, and I want to tell you a story, not about falling in love, but about what love becomes when it's no longer returned. I was 27 when Kai and I started talking about marriage. He wasn't rich, he wasn't famous, but he made me feel safe. He worked hard, he dreamed big. He promised that one day we would build a peaceful life together. We weren't perfect, but we were real. Until one phone call changed everything. It was a Sunday morning in June. I was folding clothes when my phone rang. I remember the silence after I picked it up. And then the words I'll never forget. Kai was in an accident. He didn't survive. Time froze. I didn't scream. I didn't cry. I just stood there, staring out the window, thinking this must be a mistake. But it wasn't. The man I loved was gone. Days passed in silence. But pain doesn't wait. It comes with questions, and one of those questions was about money. I learned that Kai had left behind a debt of over $90,000 USD. Unpaid wages to his workers. Money he borrowed from friends. Unfinished contracts. Unanswered promises. His parents were old farmers. They had little. They had lost their son. And now they were facing angry phone calls, unpaid bills, and fear. Everyone told me, it's not your responsibility. You weren't married. Move on. But I couldn't, because this wasn't about money. It was about dignity. It was about the man I loved and the people he left behind. So I did the only thing I knew how to do. I said, I'll pay the debt. I took out my entire savings, around $30,000 USD. It was everything I had. And then I started working. Every job I could find. Cleaning, selling fruit at the market, organizing boxes in warehouses, working behind kitchens, saving every little coin. I lived simply. I counted every cent. And I never stopped. Because when I looked at the faces of the workers waiting for payment, I didn't see strangers. I saw people like Kai, with dreams, with families, and I didn't want them to suffer. It took me 5 years, 5 long years. But one day, the last payment was made. I remember standing in front of Kai's photo. I whispered, now you can rest, and so can I. But the story didn't end there. From the day Kai left, I never stopped visiting his parents. I brought them groceries. I cleaned their little house. I took them to the doctor. Every year, I took them on a short trip just to see the world their son never got to see. I bought health insurance for them. held their hands when they were sick, listened to their stories, even when they repeated them again and again, because they were no longer just his parents. They became mine. In 2020, I got married. My husband is gentle, kind. He knows my story, and he understands my heart. At our wedding, I stood in front of all our guests. I looked at my parents and then at Kai's parents, and I said, "From today, I have 6 parents, not 4." The room went silent. And then came the tears. Today, I run 2 companies. One sells organic food from the clean farms I helped build. The other offers travel experiences so that people can see the beauty of life, even after loss. Sometimes people ask me, "Why did you do it? Why didn't you just let go?" And I say, because love doesn't always end when someone leaves. Sometimes love becomes something else, something quieter, something stronger. Message to you: real love doesn't always show in words. Sometimes it shows in sacrifice, in showing up, in choosing to be kind when no one is watching. You don't have to be perfect to be remembered. You just